Thinking about buying a franchise? Then the How to Buy a Franchise show is just for you. Here's your host, Dr. John Hayes.
Hi, I'm John Hayes. I'm at the International Franchise Expo, where things are wrapping up for 2016. 3-day event, big show, 400 exhibitors. They've got investments that range from a low of below $10,000 up to $1 million and more. But it's all over for this year. And if you're interested in buying a franchise, I know you'd like to come to the International Franchise Expo in 2017, also at the Javits Center in New York City, but you're not going to wait that long, are you? So go to franchiseexpo.com. It's owned by the same folks who produced the International Franchise Expo, and there again you're going to find exhibitors, franchisors, with investments below $10,000 up to $1 million and more, and lots of great information about how you can become a franchisee. franchiseexpo.com. Meanwhile, you're going to tune in to howtobuyafranchise.com. You're watching the How to Buy a Franchise show. If you're on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, thanks for joining us. I do give away lots of resources at howtobuyafranchise.com, so be sure to check in there. My guest right now is the guru of Franchise Expos, and I'm going to talk to Tom Portesy and get some information for you about future expos and what's happening in the expo world, what's happening in franchising in general. Tom, welcome. Hello. Thanks for taking some time.
Hey, John. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure. So, who comes to this show? What kind of person is showing up here?
This is a very unique show, and this is probably unique in terms of franchise shows anywhere in the world. So we're going to have people coming from New York City, from the tri-state area, from 50 states, and 122 countries.
Wow, 122. Now, so why are they coming? Where are they coming from? And do they come singles at a time? Do they come in groups? How's that work?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So they come, there's people that come from all over the world. As I said, last year 122 countries. Many of them are traveling, knowing about the show and just coming to see it. Many of them are part of official delegations that are arranged through the U.S. Department of Commerce Commercial Services.
And some of these folks then, they're interested in buying a franchise brand that's maybe an American brand, probably an American brand, taking it back to Morocco or taking it to Kuwait or taking it to France or wherever it might be and developing that. A lot of that has gone on. Others are coming because they've got a concept they want to bring to the United States and they want to test it out here. Some of the exhibitors are from other countries. They're not all American franchises.
38 franchisors.
10% of the exhibitor base here is coming from outside of the country.
And that grows from year to year.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, you'll see there's an entire pavilion from different countries.
Yeah. So the other thing that the IFE does that other events like this do not necessarily do, there are 75 different seminars and workshops. Most of them are free.
Correct.
And so how popular is that and how important is that to the overall mix of the IFE?
Well, it's very popular, standing room only in most cases, as you know, from the ones you're involved in. But usually it's just standing room only, and I think it's compelling to these people to get to them. They're going to learn so much about how to buy a franchise. If they're coming here to franchise their business, they're going to learn so many things to determine if their business is franchisable. If they're looking to buy a master license, there's a track just for that. If they're looking to export their franchise, there's a track just for that.
Mm-hmm. But I want to go to franchiseexpo.com because that's one of your assets as well. And how did that used to be called Be the Boss?
Correct.
Right? Back years and years and years ago. But now it's Franchise Expo, better name.
Well, we started then BeTheBoss.com because, like all trade show organizers, we were sure that the internet was going to put us out of business.
Yeah.
Right? And, we found out, like everyone else, that the internet is just a medium, albeit a very sophisticated medium, but a medium. It did change everything, including our business. We used to do 70 shows a year.
Yes.
So if you wanted to learn anything about a franchise, you came to one of our shows.
Yeah.
Now you go online, and instead of 70 shows a year, we have 3 here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. How do people use Franchise Expo to their advantage? What's the big benefit about that?
Well, you can go online, right, and you could search by category. You can search by investment level. You could search by geography. So you can narrow down your search a little bit. You could do some homework. You could request information. You could ask for some dialogue. No one's going to buy a franchise without speaking to and meeting the company that they're about to
We hope not.
Go into partnership with.
Right. And there are great resources on Franchise Expo. So there are articles, there are links to others who are experts in franchising. The IFA is always prominent, both at the IFE, all the shows that you do, because they are the sponsor of the Expo, and the International Franchise Association, IFA, is a great association for franchisors and franchisees, a great place for you to get information, and you can be sure that it's accurate information. I always recommend that people go to franchise.org. So in franchising, this is the 25th year for the IFE, and for both of us, we were there for the first one. Here we are still working away at the IFE.
Why is it you still have all your hair?
I don't know. I didn't want to ask you why you lost yours, but
working with you for 25 years.
It could be it. All the money you've paid me.
That's
so
right.
What about, what do you think has changed over that time? What have you noticed that's different about franchising today than what we saw 20, 25 years ago?
Going back to the internet, I just think that the people who attend this show, the people who are looking at franchising, are so much more educated than they've ever been.
Exactly.
So the people walking through here are probably on step 3 of a 7-step process in buying a franchise.
Yes. And we also see a lot more international than we ever saw 25. I think we had some 25 years ago. I don't remember. Mostly it was domestic, but today, you got 10% of the exhibitors are coming from the international market. We're going to see more and more of that happening.
Well, I think in our years in this industry, right, the U.S. companies were the exporters.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, the U.S. exported franchise concepts, never imported franchise
but
concepts.
Now it's changing.
So I think the U.S. franchisors educated the world on franchising, and now each country has some really substantial franchise concepts that they're just going to export back here.
Yeah. What are the dates, do you know offhand, of the IFE 2017? I don't see them over there.
15, 16, and 17.
Right. But you're not going to wait until June of 2017 if you're interested in a franchise. You're going to go to franchiseexpo.com, where you'll find many, many different advertisers or exhibitors, franchise companies that are looking for you to invest in their opportunity. Investments are less than $10,000 in many cases, certainly under $25,000, but of course they go up to $300,000, $500,000 or more, up to $1 million and more. So whatever your desire is financially, you're going to find an opportunity at franchiseexpo.com. You'll find a lot of resources there as well. And of course you're going to find resources at howtobuyafranchise.com. I hope you'll come and join me. I invite you to listen to my weekly podcast, howtobuyafranchise.com, which you can find on iTunes and which you can find on Stitcher Radio. And if you're on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, please give the show a good review. It helps me attract more listeners and more viewers. Till next time, this is John Hayes.
Thank you for listening to How to Buy a Franchise Show. If you want immediate assistance, visit howtobuyafranchise.com to contact Dr. John Hayes for a free consultation.